Sure, I'm Jim Reeves. I am currently on the board of Ozark Land Trust. I have been on the board for coming up on 9 years, so I'm completing my third 3-year term, and I'll have to rotate off as of this June. I'm also past president of Ozark Land Trust, held the position for 4 years. I first was attracted to OLT because I actually had dinner with a former board member, and he told me about Ozark Land Trust, and it fascinated me because I've always been a promoter of conservation. My wife and we love hiking, we love getting out in the woods, we love uh, being able to get outdoors for recreation. And we also have tremendous concerns about development and encroachment. And when I learned about the mission of Ozark Land Trust, I was fascinated. And I met a few more board members and was ultimately asked to join the board. So this wasn't really a professional move on my part. It was really an interest in the and once I got to know people at Ozark Land Trust, the passion for the mission that everyone at Ozark Land Trust has for conservation, and that's what really brought me to the organization. I am an attorney, and I don't practice law in the traditional sense anymore. I'm a mediator. I help groups resolve disputes, work out problems, plan, strategize, and I brought those skills to Ozark Land Trust, and I think it added value to the organization. It's really been a pleasure to be able to provide that value to OLT. Well, I'm not that familiar with how other conservation groups operate. I don't know about their cultures. I do know that they all have a passion for conservation. I think that what OLT brings by way of its uniqueness is its reach, its partnerships, the people that it attracts, again, in terms of their passion for conservation, but also a really interesting mix of people from a lot of different walks of life, a lot of different professions. And one of the things that has been so wonderful about working with everybody on the board is because of that mix of people, that those different perspectives that come together at board meetings, and having an amazing staff has been, gosh, just such a pleasure to work with. And so that's what I think is so unique about OLT. Yeah, I think some of the evolution that I have seen, and from what I know about its history, is that OLT has become more sophisticated. We had our founders were steeped in conservation. It was a small group, and they carved out an amazing organization. And since that time, OLT has grown. We have over 30,000, almost 35,000 acres under protection. And we've also recognized the value of partnerships, working with state and federal agencies, working with landowners, getting our word out, being able to use social media in a way so that people become more aware of what we do. And one of the things that I really love about OLT and its mission is that this is not an organization or a governmental entity who's coming in and saying, you have to do this. Landowner, we're going to tell you what to do with your land. And instead, this is an opportunity if you'd like to take advantage of it. And I think landowners recognize that, and they want to be able to exercise that autonomy and use their land the way they want to. And so we have discussions and saying, look, we can do a conservation easement. We can help you with conservation practices. Um, and, but it's all going to be your choice. And so I think recognition of the autonomy of the landowner, reaching out to landowners, helping them understand what we do and what we don't do, helping them understand that they have a lot of control over the process. I think those are all things that have developed and become much more ingrained in our processes now at OLT. Well, I think all of our founders of this organization are heroes. And I'm not just saying that. I really mean that. When I think back what it would have been like 40 years ago, and for a group of people to put their heads together and their ideas together and say, you know what, we need to do something focused. We need to form an organization that is going to help landowners conserve their property, and to be aware and to the extent we're able to mitigate development, make it smarter, make it in a way that people will still be able to enjoy land. I mean, I think the forethought of our founders is just, it amazes me.